we got one movie today that calls out the tropes of every other horror movie.
And another movie that follows all of those tropes with beavers. This is Sick.
And this is Twisted.
And this is a Sick and Twisted Horrorcast. Hi guys, and welcome to this weekly podcast.
What's going on, guys? This week we are covering, we're doing a Cabin in the Woods month. So this is movies that take place in cabins in woods.
And for our first theme month, we are excited to present that we do have a guest on the show.
And opening theme music. Did you hear that shit?
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Oh, fuck yeah. Made by my homie, Selwekos, and our outro music today will be done by my buddy, Dreadwolf. We do have a guest on here, one of our spooky kids, Danny.
How's it going, guys? Nice to happen to be on the show. Thanks for having me.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for coming.
Could always use more people.
One of these movies needed less people.
One of these movies needed less funding.
Ooh, and they didn't have much to begin with.
But first, as always, let's start off with our movie updates for some upcoming horror.
Yes.
Sick, why don't you kick us off with the 3 from Hell?
Yes, update on 3 from Hell. So Rob Zombie has been on the Twins of Evil tour with Marilyn Manson. And he has been, I guess, I don't know if he's kicking off his show or if he's ending off his show. Somewhere during his show, he is showing a teaser trailer for 3 from Hell. And this thing looks bloody as all hell. It has some crazy lines in it. And it also has Danny Trejo's picture, which I think is really interesting.
Danny Trejo should be in more stuff. Always.
Yeah.
I'll never say no to Danny Trejo. He always represents my community as a whole, and I'm proud to have him as
Well, I like that he was in Desperado and died and then came back in the sequel as a different character.
Of course.
It's bad because I always see Danny Trejo, and then I'm like, who's that? I know him. He's been in this. Danny fucking Trejo. That's his goddamn name.
Just like Hector from Fast and the Furious. Every time you see him, it's like, that's Hector.
Yeah.
Just character actors everywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks super fucking bloody. Can't wait for this movie. Like we said, we'd keep you updated on that one.
And this one, it is kind of being confirmed in the video now that it is going to take place post the shootout. I have no idea how they survived
Nobody
that
does.
shit.
There's theories. There's questions.
Doctors have questions.
I'm just imagining Deadliest Warrior. That's a kill shot.
Yeah. Night Flyers is my next one. Night Flyers is from George R.R. Martin taking a break from Game of Thrones to jump into something else.
3001: A Laced Odyssey.
Yeah. If you haven't seen anything about it, this is based on one of his novellas that he's done. It's a spaceship, haunted spaceship, I think is what they're going with.
I can't tell.
That's what the novella was about. I'm not sure if they're going to stick to the guns with this one on the series. It's going to be a sci-fi series coming this fall. Like I said, we've got a couple of like small little things, just like people running around in a spaceship. A couple of little like behind the scenes things, but you're not catching a whole lot from it.
Homeboy from Pretty in Pink is in it though. What's up?
Oh my god, dear Jesus! That's
my
what
mom
you
made me
got
watch
from it.
all those movies.
That's what you took from it. But yeah, no, it looks pretty interesting actually. It kind of brings me back to Pandorum a little bit. So kind of interesting to see. We don't get too many spaceship stuff anymore. Not since like the Alien series have we gotten anything decent from spaceship horror. We got Jason X, but we all know how that went.
Oh boy.
But yeah, so look out for Night Flyers coming in sci-fi. But for right now, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this bitch.
Boom, 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 boom. Oh, wait. We do have one more thing Danny would like to throw in there.
Right. We did have one more update from Dan here.
Upcoming horror movie that I'm personally looking forward to. Maybe that's because it goes down my culture a little bit. The Curse of La Llorona. We know very little about this movie besides the fact that it's being brought to you by Warner Brothers, which is super interesting.
That's right. He's German.
Yep. Yeah, got me. Sure, much else to say about that. This is definitely one to look forward to. I'm really excited about it. It was debuted at San Diego Comic-Con earlier this year. It read really, really well with the audience, so I'm really looking forward to it, and I really hope they don't mess this up, because if they do, if they do great, it has potential to lead on to so much more folklore and cultural stories. And if it does terrible, well, I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm
gonna read up on this folklore that you're talking about, because I have not heard about this thing ever.
The only thing I've ever heard about it was that you'll get a lot of Mexican American and Mexican mothers that will use this as a threat for their kids. You know, if you don't stop it, La Llorona's going to come. You know?
Oh yeah, because well, there are many different iterations of the story and how all folklore go. Basically, it was a mother in Mexico. She lost her child to the river. He just drowned out there. He was unsupervised, and she blamed herself. And she would spend days crying out in the woods by this river.
She didn't blame the campers?
Nope.
Oh, yeah.
Not another Mexican Friday. But no, and then it's still rumored today that if you go out there to that same river, you will hear her cries. And she will come for you if you misbehave. This is where the whole mothers would threaten their children if they misbehave.
She's like Mexican Santa for you, or Mexican Krampus.
Mexican Santa, come to drown your kids in the
Man, way to make Mexicans look bad. Oh man! But yeah, so let's get down to this, man. That sounds super fucking right.
That does.
I can't wait for that one. So this month we're doing Cabins in Woods, and we're going to start it off with none other than Cabin in the Woods.
Really, it's a freaking amazing movie. It's won multiple awards, and this is one of the movies that I love so much because it calls out the cliche, and it does it in such a fascinating way that it breaks the mold and exposes every other horror movie in the genre.
Yeah,
absolutely. So it's phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. I think the best way to put it is that it is the love letter to horror. You're just like, thank you for everything you do. Here's this movie in return. We're going to hit you with all the cliches while also breaking them at the exact same time.
Right.
And it's not just a love letter to horror movies, though. Also to horror video games, which we're going to get into some of that extra trivia later on. But starting it out, it actually starts the movie with two guys in an office building.
Which are the dad and the antagonist from Billy Madison. I love that. I love that. I'm like, Cabin in the Woods by Happy Madison. This is going to go well.
I would not have watched a Happy Madison produced horror movie.
I would gladly. No, you saw Jack and Jill, right?
No. Hence me saying I would not watch a Happy Madison produced horror movie. But no, it just starts out, and it's this is actually the first bit of trivia right here. Is they designed this scene to make it look like, to make people question whether they came to the right movie.
Yes, absolutely.
I like that. I like that a lot.
I remember seeing it in theaters and being completely thrown off. I'm just like, I think we walked into the wrong theater.
I remember watching it last night and going, what? Wait, what?
Exactly.
Did we put the right movie in?
It starts off two guys and they're just driving
a golf cart?
Like a little, like half a golf cart, kind of like the Austin Powers car that he backs up and tries to turn around in the small hallway.
Yes, that's the one.
That is the one.
About 15 clowns jump out.
Which makes no sense because, the girl that came up next to him was walking and keeping up pace just fine.
They're just lazy, dude. They had to show that they were higher ups.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, I mean, they're not even talking about anything. They're talking about,
they're just shooting the shit, gossiping about the water fountain.
How Japan was, number one and undefeated, and they're second, and then the fact that he's putting in some cabinetry, and it's just like random bullshit that you're just like, what? Wait, is this Cabin in the Woods? Is this?
Bradley Whitford, the character who you're talking about, was talking about removing his cabinets, like the safety features, because he just had a baby. Yep. Which is another cliche. It's like, I just had a baby. This guy's going to live for sure.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then the other guy who's accompanied by is Richard Jenkins, who you said was from the movie. You also know him as the dad from Step Brothers, and he was the neighbor in The Shape of Water.
I haven't seen that yet.
He's been in a lot.
It was weird.
Yeah.
If you're into bestiality, it's
not really.
What the hell?
Super weird movie.
Wow. Okay.
But that's the mind of Guillermo del Toro. So
that's valid.
That's so true.
And to reach out with Twisted here, Bradley Whitford is going to be in the upcoming Godzilla movie.
Oh God. Which one of them is going to be in King Kong?
Doesn't matter. We're talking about Godzilla, you shush. Anyway, so yeah, it's just them driving down, talking shop, and then it hard cut Cabin in the Woods.
That was a jump scare to me.
Was it?
Did it? Would you count that? Because if we're counting that, then that equals like 7 jump scares.
I would say it counts. Because if you're in that mindset, you're just like, what movie is this? I'm in the wrong movie. Then all of a sudden, Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah.
I could totally see it being a jump scare in theaters. I don't think at home it's as effective, just because in theaters that's a preset volume and it's loud.
It is.
We had it on low because we had the subtitles on because the baby was sleeping.
Yeah, so there you go. But yeah, I think. But right after this, then we finally meet our main characters. Chris Hemsworth.
Thor. Yeah,
Thor.
One of my first notes in here is Thor is a cool dude. I like the little banter he did about the books.
So this is actually this is what was so great, because usually you have the cliche of this jockey guy and the douchebag friend and all this, and these were all likable characters.
Oh yeah.
Even Marty being the stoner.
He was awesome. He was awesome as a stoner. He was my favorite character.
So
far.
That is actually a bit of trivia right there. Marty took classes on being a stoner.
Yep.
Oh.
The actor took classes on being a stoner. Learned how to roll joints. Brought people in to teach him how to roll joints and smoke weed.
Okay, I've been a stoner for 10 years now. I still don't know how to roll a joint for shit.
Guess what? He does, and he could teach you now.
My best friend. Dude, oh my God. Dude, I need to go to stoner school.
But that's what's so crazy to me. Is that's how powerful Hollywood is. Is California, is that legal recreational?
I believe now.
At that time, it was only medical.
But at that time, it wasn't. Mm-hmm. So at that time, Hollywood was so powerful that he could reach out from a Hollywood movie, and say, "Hey, can we get some people in here to show me how to smoke some weed? I need to learn off screen how to smoke, roll, ingest illegal drugs. Can we do that?"
They should have just gone to Snoop.
Right, exactly.
By the way, his little hideaway bong is my shit. I need one of those.
Danny, you want to take this little bit of trivia?
So yeah, I actually wrote down a specific note just because I knew this was going to come up. That bong coffee mug,
yeah, I've seen it before,
is actually $5,000.
It's a real thing.
Yes, it is.
That is not. That was a legitimate
I know that
prototype.
It's a real thing. I didn't know it costed that damn much.
$5,000 on a movie that's budget was around $40 million. Mm-hmm. $5,000 is still a pretty big chunk of that budget.
Yeah.
I love that is a thing.
For a 20-second clip of him smoking weed in a car.
No. That was a very important weapon.
It was a weapon.
It was a tool.
Yeah, you're right.
That was key.
That bong was a main character.
Dude, I still want one. Somebody, start a GoFundMe. Sick me $5,000 for a bong.
Slash coffee holder.
Slash coffee holder.
Should that be called the Wake and Bake?
Oh. Don't you fucking start.
I'm just mad I didn't think
Don't you start. Not here.
Yes. Oh god.
But should we talk about these characters and their actors and everything? Because for the most part, all these characters, like actors, are like grade A actors.
Oh yeah.
For the most part.
Oh yeah.
So-
Chris Hemsworth.
So Chris Hemsworth was not Thor yet. He is literally he got this role, then got the role for God damn it. Red Dawn, that's right.
Wolverines.
He got the role for Red Dawn after that, and Thor after that. And then had to put on hold this one and Red Dawn because MGM went under.
Yes, because of the bankruptcy.
Because of a bankruptcy. So, like, that was just mind-blowingly, like, his career shot off out of nowhere.
Yeah, no, he came to America and just fucking scored.
And there was a scene where the director said, like, while he was giving the empowering speech just before the motorcycle leap.
Oh my god.
He said, like, at this point, he's like, this is the moment I knew this guy was gonna be huge.
And then bam.
And then dead. Like, that's so funny to me. Like,
I
the director,
laughed so fucking hard.
oh yeah.
By the way, I was just like, everybody was like, what the fuck? That's so fucked up. I was like, no, that is the funniest shit I've ever seen.
But like,
Either
that's,
way, it's like a cartoon character just slamming into a wall and then slowly like flopping down.
By the way, I never refer to him as Chris Hemsworth or his character's name. What was it?
Kurt.
Yeah, no, I always talked about him as Thor.
Always.
he's like, yeah, no, that's what sucks is that's Thor. Like,
Yeah, that's
Oh,
Thor.
absolutely.
he's nothing else but Thor.
Would you guys complain if you were known as the God of Thunder?
No.
Yeah.
I am in the bedroom.
Okay.
And I'm Loki. I shapeshift that shit.
No, you just trick him.
I make him believe that it's
Anyways,
No
I'm
comment.
Jewish and Irish. I'm adequate at best.
there you
Okay, I
go.
own
There
my
you go.
shit.
Now we know. So yeah, but I mean, right off the bat, you're getting Chris Hemsworth, and you're getting Kristen Connolly
Yeah.
as Dana, the main, the quote unquote virgin in this movie.
Yeah, which it's not you. It starts off with them talking about how her teacher is fucking her.
And broke up with her.
Yeah, and broke up with her over an email.
Yeah. So like, I thought this
not
was.
even the decency to do it over text.
Right, yeah.
But
Like,
I
who
thought
does it over email? And it's still like his old AOL email. It's like logjammer69 at yahoo.com.
There's only one thing that could have been worse. AIM. I was waiting for her to
Wait, I would have said Hotmail.
Nope. People still use Hotmail.
What? Okay, let's move on.
But Anne Hutchinson is the other one who plays opposite of Thor. Plays-
Jules.
Yes.
The blonde
plays
with the
girlfriend.
shit in her hair dye, apparently, that makes her a dumb blonde.
I thought that was so clever, though.
Oh, yeah, just like how the jock is actually a sociology major, how the virgin's not actually a virgin.
Well,
Modern day version, maybe.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like they were going off of the cliches, but it wasn't that they are the cliches.
They were made into the
forced
cliche.
them to be the cliche.
Which that actually came up with Stoner Homeboy.
Marty.
Yes,
Yeah.
because they supplied the weed for him, but he was smoking outside weed that made him
That is still like one of my weirdest plot holes.
impervious to their
Because
weed.
it wasn't that it wasn't the fact that it made him impervious. I'm like, whatever, because they can't control his weed. It was the fact that these guys are so specific and so tedious, and they didn't catch the fact that he had extra weed.
Secret stash, man.
I like that he's also the only true one. Everybody else was made into their cliches. He was a stoner from the start.
Yeah.
Every group needs a stoner.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Say it, man. Every group needs a stoner.
Just me and Marina in the corner.
God damn it. So yeah, it's but yeah, when we've got a ton of great actors, like just right off the clutch, just
Yep.
immediately, and we're going right into it where they are going on a trip to get out and to get away from the world for a while. I think this was, he said that, Chris Hemsworth's character said that his cousin was coming along.
Cabin, somewhere in the woods, of course.
Yeah.
At his dad's RV, and they're taking the trip up there. Which I thought was just a fun little note where he says, "You're not bringing that bong to Marty." In my dad's RV, where the next scene you literally see him with weed sprayed all over the table. You're just like, that rule just went right out the fucking window.
But I still love that whole, like, a bong? Are you kidding me? As he's folding it up and turning it into a coffee cup.
What bong? That's illegal, sir.
Then they pull into the first cliche is the gas station.
Oh yeah,
well, actually, I suppose
foreboding.
I suppose the first cliche is technically the stoner, being a stoner. Hey. But I think, come on. Yeah. But I think the actual cliche, the first major storyline cliche is this gas station. How many movies, how many horror movies have had this gas station?
The next one that we do.
Cabin Fever has had it. I mean,
Friday the
13th has had some form of that.
Yeah.
It's constant. And it's supposed to serve as the warning that has gone unheard.
Kind of like foreshadowing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's always foreshadowing. And I don't know why every gas station attendant is just like, you shouldn't go on those woods there.
Yeah, it's always the redneck from South Park. I wouldn't go doing that. That over there is built on an Indian burial ground.
I like to imagine the gas station attendant like always being in the background. During all these movies, just watching all this happen, you're just like, I told him not to go up there. Exactly. And just warning the next people.
And I like that the redneck in this one is actually a true trope because he ends up calling the guys that are running this thing and being the redneck transgressions right through the ground right over there.
Well, that's what's great is them laughing during his speech is actually them not listening to to his warning.
Yep.
So
he's like, they're gonna break this. I hope you know that.
It's a double. Like, it's so great. But I still love the fact that he breaks and just like, you got me on speakerphone again, don't you? And
it's like, oh my god, it happened again.
Oh man, I love it so much.
I love I see this beautiful falcon flying then to introduce the force field.
Now, this is where I run into something I don't like. I wish they wouldn't have done that. Because how much of a great surprise would it have been if you didn't see that and then Chris Hemsworth goes to ramp that and just boom!
Yeah, because as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, he's going to hit this shit.
Exactly, because everybody thought that, just like, no, don't jump it, and there it is. And he hits and falls down, and it's a great scene.
I will admit, I didn't catch it till last second. Because I was just like, oh my god, he's just going to almost make it and then fall.
Exactly.
And then like last second, as he's zooming towards, like, oh my god, the force field.
It's a great little call, but I think it would have been so much better had you not had that. I think just like that slam would have been like, oh, wow, they really have thought of everything. Like,
that's fair. I see what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's a little complaint. Like, it's not a movie breaking complaint at all. Right. But I think just that little thing would have been pretty cool.
It kind of balances out the movie between too serious and just the right amount of humor.
Exactly.
Where it leaves it up to the viewer's discretion on how they want to take the movie.
I can see that. Yeah. So then they've crossed. Actually, I want to real quick. I want to mention this.
Yeah.
Why do so many people take RVs, which are meant to be lived in, to go to cabins, which are meant to be lived in? Why not just take your car?
Because what if the cabin's dirty?
Yeah,
that's the point.
Like Jules said. What's her name's character? Anne Hutchinson's character. Who, side note, is also the Yellow Power Ranger.
In which?
Some jungle force.
I feel like a Power Ranger.
Exactly.
We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
That was my connection I was talking about. God. When she said that if she sees one spider in there, in the cabin, she's going back to the RV. Which I totally agree with. I'm on her side with that.
Yeah. but still, like, I'm just like, everybody does this though. They take RVs to go to, like, they take live-in vehicles to go to live-ins. RVs, yeah. And the first horror movie we're doing in that RV with Robin Williams.
Oh God! No. Hey! Fuck you. As a kid, I loved that movie. Now I hate it, but as a kid, I loved it.
There you go. Come on. So yeah, they get to the cabin, and almost immediately they walk into their bedrooms, and she sees this painting.
No, he does.
Oh yeah, he sees the painting.
Takes it down, and this is where I put down. Pussy tells everyone about the mirror.
And you say
that guy.
He was being a gentleman.
Yeah, he did say he was conflicted.
He was conflicted.
Now, can we talk about this character real quick? His name is Jesse Williams. Not many people know him, except for maybe recently, because he was in a video game, Detroit Become Human. He was Marcus.
Right.
And I noticed it instantly, had to pause the movie. I'm just like, I know this guy. He looks familiar. The voice is spot on. So literally all my notes are just like Thor, Yellow Power Ranger, Marcus from Detroit Become Human, and the two other, the pothead Marty and Dana, who was the main character, because this is pretty much the biggest movie that they're known for.
Yeah. I'm glad he went on to do more because I really liked him in this.
Oh, he was awesome.
Yeah.
He was awesome in this movie. He was phenomenal in Detroit Become Human, but we're not talking about that now.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, they get there. He sees this horrendous painting full of gore and just gnarliness, and decides, I'm gonna take that down. I'm not sleeping with looking at that all night.
No.
Yeah. And then the moment he pulls it down, he realizes two-way mirror.
One way.
Sorry.
Called a one way.
If it's two-way,
yeah, that's
the
right.
other person would have
Yeah, that's right. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, that's just a window.
Exactly. You're the one that said it. I'm just clarifying.
I'm stupid, guys. Sometimes I haven't had enough beer. That's what fuels me.
Beer makes the world go round. Sorry, flat.
That's another cliche that I wish they would address. They go into these backwoods country bumpkin fucking gas stations and get the beer from there. They never remember their own fucking beer.
Local beer, man.
I wouldn't trust half of those gas stations. Half of those gas stations I couldn't walk into because I'm ethnic. Like, what do you want from me?
Bitch, you burn.
On the outside of an Oreo. What do you want? So, like,
I'm not gonna argue that.
Yeah, no, come on. But anyway,
I'm the only man here who's unaffiliated.
Anyways, so he sees the one-way mirror. He's looking through and he sees Dana starting to get undressed. And at first he's like, oh.
Like, he goes to walk out of the room and then he backsteps and walks. And he does it again and then he's just like, I'm going to stay.
I would have stayed.
He did at first, and then he was just like...
And then I would have closed the door.
Yeah, and then you would have used a bottle of lotion. Like, we don't want to talk about it.
A whole bottle, dude.
Ah, God.
From Costco.
Disgust me.
This is why these are likable characters.
Exactly.
If he was sticking with the cliche, he would have stayed. But he decided to be a stand-up guy.
And he knocks and warns her. So they realize it's switch rooms, and wasn't that actually something they didn't anticipate the switch? So they had to, in the control room, they were like, hey, they switched rooms, go ahead and switch these and this.
Yeah, they did say that. They did say that.
And that's also when they start betting.
Yes.
Betting on... At first, I thought it was the death order that they were betting on.
That would have been an interesting bet.
Yeah, but...
No, well, they couldn't do that because they'd already had the death order planned.
Oh, you're right, because when behind them, the whole switchboard, it was in order of...
Exactly.
You're right.
Come to find out that betting was on what creature
was going to kill them. So the creature list was so good, and we actually pulled this up.
Thank you for this, bud.
This was thank you to Daniel pulling this up for us. We appreciate that.
Came prepared for one of my favorite movies.
Some of my favorites here: Zombie Redneck Torture Family, which is actually what they ended up picking.
That's what they picked.
Which I love.
The Scarecrow folk.
Now those are the ones that we see to kill the security guard. Which I've got to stop real quick. Why? Why? On the first day of the most important thing happening, like, in their lives, they have to make this work. No. They have to make this work. They've got to make this thing work to save the world. Why do you hire a new guy?
They also had an intern.
Yeah, but he's probably been an intern for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, no.
You're an intern for a hot second.
Yeah, because actually, Ronald the intern actually states that maintenance had called that one last year.
Yeah, so he's been there at least
for a year. Why is he still an intern?
He's a bad intern. He's a bad intern.
He's a really bad intern.
But no, that's something I've always wondered.
Right, and on the list it says, we'll fill you in. It says Reptilis.
Reptilius. We're
so
pretty sure it means Reptilicus.
I think they were going Reptilicus.
Oh yeah. There's no doubt about it.
Makes me so
I like
happy.
how nobody voted for that one.
You know, and fuck them.
Followed by clowns.
Yes.
Witches.
Sexy witches.
There it is.
Kevin. Okay, so you told me that there's something about this.
There are two possibilities to this.
Okay.
The first one I personally love is Kevin from Sin City. Elijah Wood's character from Sin City. Which would fit perfectly. He's a cannibal. He is silent. His movements are silent. His claws are good enough to dehead people. Like, it's perfect right there.
Yeah.
The second one
was Norman Bates, just regular psycho. So a guy you wouldn't expect to be a serial killer turns out to be a serial killer.
I wish I would have just put Norman then, because I love Norman Bates.
Kevin, I think, is just a reference. Just what's the most random name that we can think of that people will go like, WTF?
Yeah,
I don't like that Frankenstein's not on here though. That's upsetting.
Yeah, well,
I'm a lover of classics.
But there's a lot on here there's a lot on the list.
Oh yeah,
that there are more of.
Yeah,
the animated.
Wendigo,
Sasquatch / Yeti,
Jack O'Lantern.
I like that it's just the bride.
the bride of Frankenstein.
Maybe
that was a horror or a genre-changing horror movie.
Actually, I just thought about this. What if that's a Twisted Metal run? The bride was a character from Twisted Metal.
Oh, you're right.
Twisted Metal Black.
They did have video game connections, so that's a really good point. Yeah.
So, hang on. Don't you touch this until we have talked about Angry Molesting Tree.
The rape tree.
How dare you touch this before we talk about Angry Molesting Tree?
On Evil Dead, there's so many nods to Evil Dead.
Oh yeah, we got Deadites.
Yeah, Deadites are on this list too.
The Deadites, the Angry Molesting Tree, the cabin itself is a replica of the Evil Dead. The basement. So much.
So there's a lot.
I really wish the Necronomicon would have popped up somewhere in this damn movie.
And I feel like the diary kind of was a little nod.
Yeah.
Well, because there was the Latin in it.
Yes.
No. Yeah. Okay.
So that Latin was what triggered the zombies. So that's the call right there.
Not zombies. That's a different category.
Sorry. Zombie redneck torture family.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's right.
Because zombies are over here claimed by the chem department.
Which I've got to say something.
I love that there's zoology.
I think that it's really shitty that maintenance got to split the winnings with Ronald the intern.
Right.
All of maintenance has to split the winnings with Ronald the intern. Fuck Ronald.
They were pissed too. They were fucking mad.
Oh, incredibly. I would have been too. It's like this one guy gets all of these,
and he's just standing over there like, I'm the intern.
Now, so here's something we haven't talked about. There is the department names. So there's finance, demolition, chemical, electrical, stuff like that.
R&D.
Something that we haven't talked about is the fact that they have a story department.
Ooh, good catch.
So the question here is the story that they come up with, are they designing the story for the God?
I feel like they're just kind of... They want to make it fun?
Well, here's the thing. If that is the case, that explains one of my huge plot holes.
Yeah.
That would explain why this is so dead set on, there has to be a virgin and a jock and this and that. While in Japan, they're trying to kill children. School children. And then in another country, there was a minotaur.
So this specific
it was a giant
guy.
minotaur.
I thought that was a reference to King Kong.
It was a minotaur, though. It was like crushed on a building. A building was crushed.
But this ancient that's underneath America, at least, this one requires those sacrifices? Is that what you're saying?
No. I'm wondering if the story department comes up with what would satisfy the god.
I feel like...
And America has just chosen this one for America as its sacrifice, where Japan chooses, let's do the child sacrifice via ghost, while this one does this sacrifice via this. Because, like, with children, how are they going to discover some secret basement with a bunch of choices? See what I'm saying?
This could have been like at least in the Japan scenario, it could have been like this is a new classroom for them and they have to interact with things throughout the classroom. Because a very important detail in the movie, when the security guard was asking the two gentlemen from the beginning of the movie, why is it so important for them to choose, is because it has to be optional.
Right.
Just like the creepy gas station guy.
But
they have to choose to ignore him. They have to choose to come to this cabin, choose their fate to die.
But that's why I'm saying, like, if it's the story department, that could be them creating this, this whole thing. That way they can do multiple options. So say they have a year where they try, let's do a Sasquatch chasing people, down, whatever, or snow spiders or whatever. That's a movie. That's a movie we might try. But that could be a way for them to say, okay, this one failed. That's why Japan's number one.
Right.
This one failed. Let's get with the story department and make something new.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So that's my thought process on it.
Okay.
They've chosen Zombie Redneck Torture Family.
Yes.
That's who wins. And this is the Buckners.
Actually, this is funny that you said this, because as she reads out that and the zombies come out, I literally said, "Fucked Up Diaries" pulls a Necronomicon.
Yeah, that's the callback. That's what it is.
At this point...
So that now they've decided to go upstairs and they're drinking, partying, having a good time, and this is the weirdly hot, but also like my dick grabbed me by the collar and went, "Hey, what are we supposed to feel?"
My favorite line in this entire movie is the wolf head over there, and he goes, "You have to go make out with that moose over there."
Everybody stops.
I will say this right now. Like I said, I've been smoking weed for 10 years. I've never gotten that high where I've mistaken a wolf for a moose.
You've never had the secret stash.
Now that was actually another reference to the Evil Dead. The Evil Dead 2, to be more specific.
Had a moose on the wall.
The moose on the wall.
Yes. I did catch that.
So this whole scene was so good.
And then he's just it's that vague creature.
It's a wolf on the wolf head on the wall. And this took 12 takes.
Oh.
Which I feel like at least 5 of those was just fucking with her.
Yeah.
So they coated the wolf's tongue in powdered sugar because it gave it the authentic look of dust while still giving her something pleasant to taste. Oh, yeah. That's a thing. That's a thing they thought about.
Dude, they thought about everything in this damn movie, dude. This movie's so goddamn good.
Yeah. So after this happens, you kind of start seeing a change in Kurt, in Chris Hemsworth's character, where he's becoming this jock, where he's like grabbing her and like, "Yeah, come on, baby, let's go fuck yeah."
All he's trying to do is
you can see the stereotypes becoming, and she's she's grinding, she's doing like this hot, sexy dance in front of a fire.
Everybody's just staring.
Yeah.
And
she's doing the striptease in front of Marty the Stonehead, which is very uncharacteristic of her.
Yep. And then they go out into the woods, and Marty starts calling it out.
Yeah, he's like, he's a fucking sociology major.
He's a sociology major. She's, she's top of her class. Like, this isn't... And now she's acting like the dumb bimbo, and he's acting like the jock.
And
Like,
Dana's saying, oh, it's because they're drunk.
And he goes, I've seen him drunk. It's not what he does.
Yeah.
And then, like, he just stops and just... I think I'm gonna go eat some chicken.
Completely, like, train of thought is gone. The munchie factor has come in, and just like, I'm hungry.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get some snacks.
When you said that, I felt that.
A single tear dripped down to Sik's face. So we get from that, and we're going out to the woods scene where they're making out and getting down and dirty.
Here's where I wrote it. Titties. All right.
So they've done this in a way where the titties are the cliche because they cut back and forth, and you see him saying, "Come on, show us."
Oh yeah, the
guts.
whole crew is right there though.
Yeah,
trying to see us, and then she goes, "I'm chilly," and they're like, "All right, everybody, get out of here!" And then they turn up the heat and add pheromones.
Super weird at this point in the movie, because this is when we found out where Japan had failed.
Yeah,
and where all the pressure comes down on this department, on this office, and everybody's just like, "Yeah, the world might end, but I gotta see this rat."
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. And as soon as everybody leaves, they turn up the heat and add pheromone, which tells you that they are literally guiding this,
controlling
storm.
every aspect.
Yeah,
and you start to see, they're starting to make out, and she's starting to strip, and he's just like, "Why is it so important for her to get naked?" And the guy says, "We're not the only ones watching. We got to keep the customer happy."
Yeah,
where he's referring to the guns.
Yeah, and I think this comes back to the story department saying, what's going to make the gods happy, because you're not going to get nudity from a bunch of fucking kids in a classroom, and if you do,
fuck those gods.
If you do, you might be Japan.
I didn't see a tentacle in that room. I didn't see a goddamn tentacle anywhere. This is bullshit.
There's a tentacle in the movie.
You saw
just not in Japan.
You saw a potential rape ghost.
Yeah.
Not potential rape. Maybe not from the ghost, but definitely from the tree.
Oh shit!
I wish I could cut out all volume and just hear "Gotcha, bitch" from the tree. So anyway, you got this is where the Buckners first appear, and they start their killing.
Yeah, that was fucking brutal. With that bear trap that he swings around and just hits her in the back, and you're just like, oh, fuck.
Oh yeah, it gets just the first kill is from Papa Buckner.
I will state this. The most brutal kill in this movie isn't shown. It's talked about in the fucking book. Where she talks about how Daddy sliced open Mama's belly and stuffed coal inside of it.
Yeah, that would have been a brutal scene.
He got a husband's bulge from it and everything.
I got a husband. Oh my god, I love it when they're sitting there on the couch just making out, and then they start talking, and the stoner walks by and just goes, "He's got a husband's bulge."
This guy super awkward for Marcus.
Marty. No, Marty.
Marty.
Holden.
Holden, but I'm calling him Marcus from Detroit.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
So, anyway, the first kill happens, and Chris Hemsworth takes off, coming back to the cabin, and Marty is walking outside, and this is another thing I had a question on, is he goes, "Why isn't there any stars in the sky?"
Yeah.
So I had a question about this.
He just keeps snapping.
But this is something that I feel like they should have noticed. Like, they're very meticulous. Why would they not have put stars in the sky?
That's true.
Maybe it's the energy field that blocks it out.
It possibly, but it seems like because they still let light through, because there is a sun that transfers to night, and they control like moonlight settings and things like that.
Right.
So why wouldn't they? That's a small thing that they could have just easily But I mean, only the stoner noticed. So who cares?
Nobody else looks at stars. But,
he sees Chris Hemsworth running back, and turns around. There's a what was her name? Patience Buckner, and he just footballs, just boom, shoulder tackle her, grabs Marty, and they dip in the house.
Oh yeah, it was a
shoulder tackle.
Oh yeah, man, that was textbook.
Man, I've seen I haven't seen that good of a hit in hockey games. Like, holy shit, dude.
So he
that's what happens when you get struck by the God of Thunder.
Yeah. Got Mjolnired. So they get inside and they realize, oh shit, we got some fucking problems. And then Papa Buckner hits the door.
Thor actually goes, we need to stick the fuck together.
Hang on. Because Papa Buckner hits the door, and this is how everybody knows some shit's going down.
Yeah.
Because he tosses her head inside.
That was fucking funny. And did you notice that her hair was a different color? Or was that the blood?
I think that was the blood.
I assumed it was the blood.
I assumed it, but it did look like it was just brown.
Yeah, I think that was just the blood. And then they close the door, start barricading off, and says, we got to stick together, and they start walking away.
Fuck!
He's just like, oh, son of a bitch.
He's like, hold on, I got this.
And he just like hits a couple buttons, and then some gas leaks in, and he's just, whoa. No.
Like level to his nose.
Yeah.
Immediately.
And he's just,
just like, we should split up. And then Stoner's just sitting there going, wait, what? What? No.
And they get them separated, and Marty kind of knocks a lamp over, and then there's he's looking right at a camera, and like they're freaking out, like, oh my
Thorazine in there.
We need Thorazine in this room, and they goes, wait, hang on. Papa Buckner coming to rescue. Oh yeah, no, this was
Judy Buckner, which is the older brother,
and
smashes through the window and
grabs him, pulls him out, and
he hits him with the bong.
Yep, no, because he starts walking away, and he gets him with the bear trap.
Yeah, the bear
on
trap
the back, and starts pulling him in.
It was Judah, it was not Judah.
It was a knife.
It was a knife. No, he threw the knife at him.
That's what it was. Yeah.
We figured that out.
Style, yeah.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Starts dragging him back and drags him into the grave.
Yeah.
And that's where you hear slashing, and then they pull the lever. And this is where I caught something. They have heart rate monitors on everybody.
Yep.
They should have known that he wasn't alive, that he was still alive.
Oh, fucking plot hole.
That is one of the biggest plot holes in the movie, which is hard to overlook.
It's a very, because they do make a very clear scene of all of them having heart rate monitors.
What if they just ignored that fucking screen from that point on, though?
It's fine to ignore it, but at some point you would look.
Yeah.
That was a large screen, an important screen.
That's true.
And that's when they proceed to pull the lever. The blood starts filling,
and it starts earthquake.
The earth shatters. Yeah. Now this scene is very important.
I love
the earth shatters, which I don't know if you guys want to visit now or if you want to visit later.
Let's come back to it.
Okay,
we'll swing back to it.
Just keep that in mind, where the earth shatters when they pull the blood, assuming that the fool, the stoner in this case, Marty, is dead.
Oh, real quick, sorry, bit of trivia. When everybody was getting into like swimsuits and whatever, early on in the movie at the lake, the reason Marty the stoner did not get into his skivvies and hop in is because
stones don't float.
God damn it, I'm proud of you.
Don't you fucking start in on this shit now too.
So it is because Marty, the actor that played Marty, Fran Kranz, is so ripped he would have put everyone else to shame.
Remember Thor's in this movie.
Really?
Thor is in this movie. The stoner.
I need a picture of this guy shirtless.
Stoner is so ripped.
I need to see this shit.
That he would have put everyone else to shame, and that is actually why he was wearing so many layers of clothes.
That's so crazy.
Because they wanted to make him look frumpy.
Dude, I was just like,
son of a bitch, look how good he looks. Fuck, I'm not gay, but I think I'd fuck him. Jesus.
No. Like, I'm not gay, but $10.
Jesus Christ.
Good.
Yup.
Yo, son of a bitch.
Lord.
Yeah, he puts Thor to shame.
You could wash clothes on him. Fuck.
I want him in my new folk band. Good. Anybody that's listening to this, look this up.
Look up Fran Kranz.
I'm not gay, but I came unassisted.
God damn.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so back to it. Ow!
Sorry, I had to throw that in because that was the most baffling trivia I had read.
What's in his weed?
So yeah, that I had to throw that in because holy shit, I couldn't believe it.
Make me feel like a giant piece of shit.
Anyways, so we are at the death of the quote unquote death of the stoner.
Yes.
And we have everybody starts. This is the point where they get into the basement, right? Remember when they get into the basement?
Yes, when Marcus and Dana, the main character, get into the basement, they find the lair from the book where Papa Buckner has been torturing his family, killed his wife, and presumably raped his daughter. I feel like that's on the table to tape.
It's there.
It's there. I don't.
Chop your arm off.
Exactly.
Yes. We know
Chop
that
your
happened
fucking
for
arm off.
sure.
Yes.
We don't know about the other part, but
Yeah.
So this is where Papa Buckner gets hung upside. Was it Papa Buckner?
yes, Papa Buckner is the one that shows up here. This is where the bear trap goes into Marcus's back, pulls him back. Dana jumps on Marcus to pull them both down. Papa Buckner is faced like upside down from the floor above them. And Dana looks around to grab a weapon, grabs a crowbar first, goes right through his skull into the wall behind him, says, "How do you like that?" A few seconds later, like, he pulls the crowbar right out.
Not even a big deal.
He likes it pretty fucking good.
She then proceeds to grab a knife and just stabs him repeatedly in the face.
Until he stops fucking kicking.
He stops moving. And this entire time, Marcus still has a bear trap in his back, which is...
Impressive.
Cannot stress. Incredibly painful as it was. So that's digging right into your spine. It's just like, oof.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough.
Both of these movies had bear traps.
Bear traps.
Oh, don't know.
And bears.
And bears.
And bears. Yeah.
So much.
And
so
bears.
many connections to these movies.
And the girls bared it all.
Bears. What did I say? What did I try to fucking say? The two of you. Fuck you both.
Hey, don't bare your fangs at me.
Oh my god. Yo.
Wow.
Fuck. Nope. I'm out. Bye.
Oh no, we lost him.
He is gone.
Oh damn it. So anyway, we're keeping on going, and they get out of the basement, and this is where they get into the RV and they start driving back.
Thor, Marcus, and Dana get into the RV. As they close the RV door, there's a black handprint on the RV.
Yeah, and they didn't realize that. They didn't realize the handprint, and they didn't check the fucking RV.
Yeah. Zombieland rule number, 4? Check the back seat?
Always check the back seat. But they are driving out, and they're going to get out. They're just ditching. They're bailing, and they start getting towards the tunnel, and that's when they realize in the office that the tunnel didn't blow, and the tunnel was supposed to blow a long time ago.
Yeah, hours ago is what he said.
So now they're freaking out. Everybody's scrambling. They're trying to figure out what the hell's going on. And
cue the dad from Step Brothers to run down the hall, push people aside, and fix the explosion department, right? Or the
that was
demolition.
Yeah.
To blow the tunnel.
And he just dipped under there and knew exactly
He knew right where the fuck it was.
And triggered it.
Suspiciously,
He
almost
knew
like
way too well.
No, it was from upstairs.
He used to work in demolitions. You don't know that.
But yeah, so it blows. They get blocked, and then all of a sudden he's just like, "Well, nobody can jump across it."
He's like, I can jump across it because I'm fucking Thor.
Yeah, I'm fucking Thor. Gives this beautiful fucking speech as he's on this dirt bike.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Red
beautiful
Dawn
fucking
as
speech.
some would say.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Wolverine!
Wolverine!
Oh, that would have been so good.
Oh man. Yes.
And the moment he revs up and starts to fly across this ravine,
and you're like, fuck yeah!
like, it's like this inspirational surge of music. And you're like,
great jump.
Yes, it's a beautiful jump. He's got it. Slam.
Dun, 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 dun. He went down it like, you remember when you were a kid and you had those little like rubber dudes that you would slap against the wall and they would crawl backwards down it?
Oh my god, I haven't thought about those in forever.
I had a Spider-Man one, yeah. Yeah.
Could you imagine that happening in a Spider-Man movie? Just
yeah, Spider-Man 2.
fair enough.
And Thor is still pissed that he chomped his bit. So
That's
so now that he's dead, they freak out and realize that this is all being controlled. Puppets behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And they get in the RV, they start driving back, and this is Judah?
No, this would be Patience. The
Patience, she stabs him in the back.
What
Not
happened?
through the back, but through the neck.
Yeah, through the
Straight
neck.
through the spine, disregard the vertebrae and everything in there.
With one arm. That's like some strength, dude.
Oh yeah, that's zombie strength.
And the RV goes crashing into the lake.
And
That was rough, dude.
they pull. She starts climbing out, but none of this matters because back
the
in the
virgin's
office,
death is optional.
margaritas, tequila is my lady.
They do this really like super weird prayer that's kind of emotional, and you're like, oh, they actually do feel for these kids.
Yeah,
And he just
well,
goes,
because he even stops and he was just like, this is so sad. Like, she's so strong, and she's being like the shit is getting beaten out of her on the dock. She's just like
in the background of all the banter.
She's so powerful, and like she's just like, oh, tequila.
And then they're just bantering, and you literally cut over to Ronald, and he's just like, I'm the intern, and they're just like,
Yeah, Ronald the intern is awkward bar guy.
He really is.
And then this entire scene just turns into basically like
there's a call from
average
upstairs.
office scene.
Yeah,
where it's just like there's like two different departments flirting with each other, getting turned down. It's just like an office party, basically.
Exactly.
And then yes, you're right. This is exactly where
the phone
red
starts
phone
rings.
The red
and everybody's
and
just
the
like,
city needs to be safe.
Fuck.
So, and
did you really just do a Powerpuff Girls reference?
Well, I mean, honestly, like that's kind of what it is because these are technically the good guys.
Yeah.
In all reality, like these are the good guys. They are trying to actively save the world.
Yeah.
So they get the call. They're like, "Wait, what do you mean he's not dead? Like, holy shit!" Yeah. And this is full on.
And right behind,
and they cut to her getting the hell beat out of her on the dock.
Oh, and this is happening the entire time in the background. The party's going on. People are getting
You're just seeing her get the absolute
She's being
dog
shit.
shit.
On the dock.
Oh yeah,
like.
And then
the entire time.
He pulls up his fucking bear trap like he's fucking. This is his thing.
Which if she would have died right there,
swing
style,
and all you see is shing bong of destiny.
Boom! Totally worth $5,000.
Oh man, bong of destiny for the win. And saves the day. Marty comes back, realizes he's not dead, and they run back
to the elevator,
the grave. The grave is pulled in, and they realize that there's an elevator down there, and this is where the world. This is the parting of the kimono in media res,
and you see Judah chopped up into pieces in the corner.
And Marty just goes like, "What?" Or Dana says, "What happened to you?" And you see the little Judah in the background. He goes like, "Oh, I just dismembered that guy. What have you been up to?"
Covered in blood.
He's covered in blood.
Oh,
and they get into the elevator, and he triggers it with some wires.
And here comes the cameo.
And this is Cameo City.
This is like the This should have been. This whole scene is like a preview to Ready Player One.
Oh yeah. So
it's the horror movie of Ready Player One.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, it really is.
So one of the things in this is a little bit of trivia is the hunter, the witch, the boomer, and the tank from Left 4 Dead are all seen in the elevator full of horror monsters. And this is actually was supposed to be a tie-in from the Left 4 Dead campaign. Was supposed to release a DLC based on Cabin in the Woods, where all of the monsters were going to make an appearance. But when MGM went down, they couldn't do it.
Fantastic.
And that would have been, I mean, that would have been top like top
Fuck, yeah.
100, like top 5 DLCs of all time.
Oh god, yeah,
All the monsters
easily.
that you see in this elevator, which the elevator reminds me a little bit like Willy Wonka, where it turns in like every sort of direction.
Oh, yeah.
And they're each in their own different pods.
The MC Escher of elevators.
You see the fetishist
MC
with his
Escher
puzzle box.
Who has a name? His name is Fornicus.
Fornicus. That's so good.
Fornicus.
It was Fornicus, the Fornicus, Lord of Bondage and Pain.
Yep, that's the one.
Fornicus, Lord of Bondage and Pain.
I know who I'm cosplaying next year.
That's who you cosplayed last night.
Valid.
And then
He
there's
doesn't know
there's
me.
a cat.
There's just a random ass cat
Yeah,
in
giant
the
kitty
top
cat.
left.
Just
Yeah,
giant kitty cat.
I want to know how you would die from that. I wouldn't mind going out to a giant kitty cat, a giant puppy, whatever.
It just pats. It just
Here we go.
It bats you back and forth like a ball of yarn until you're just bloody.
claws come out and just.
Yeah, exactly.
He licks you, and that sawdust.
That puts me uneasy.
Dude, being licked by a cat makes me
Cat
uneasy.
licks you, and the entire like your skin, epidermis, just.
And this is
comes
also
right off.
where we find out that the substitute weed that he owns it creates conscious immunity.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there. See, that's why I know shit. That's what I do. I smoke and know things.
All right.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, God. Really? Game of Thrones reference?
Yep, that's what it was.
So, one of the things that I saw, I couldn't. There was the twins from the Shining in there. The Headless Horseman was in there. One that I saw that I cannot confirm that this was actually in there. I cannot. But it looked like the demon from Super Ghosts and Goblins.
Yeah. I can agree.
Post elevator purge. So after she gets out of the elevator, she
One guard.
one
guard.
fucking guard and this goddamn bullshit hero guard.
The facility
Oh my
is
God.
trying to solve the problem by killing the fool, the
Yeah.
party.
As long as they kill the fool first, it doesn't matter whether she survives or not.
Yes.
Right.
And save the world. Like, this is top priority above all. At this time, forget about Al-Qaeda and Saddam Hussein or
ISIS,
whatever.
anybody.
Like, we need to get this stuff figured out.
This one
quickly.
guy's gotta die.
So this one security guard with a pistol is here to save the day.
So I think what this was is they called all squads,
Yes.
and he was the guy manning the booth in the elevator complex, and he was just right there.
No, he was the guy on lunch.
No, I think
You get a call. Hey, we got something going down in the elevator. All right, yeah.
I'm out of my way. Shit, I'm late.
he was on the next elevator over. It's Kevin. So this is when they get into the. He pulls them out. They kill the guard. They get out. The whole squadron comes in. They dip back into the main control room, and there is a button that says purge.
Yeah, it's the MacGuffin. You need the MacGuffin.
But, like, wouldn't you think a purge button would just kill all monsters in elevators instead of release all monsters into this building?
Now, this is all about perspective. But aren't the staff the real monsters of this movie?
No.
No.
Technically,
But you see, I
technically,
feel like it's the same as a self-destruct nuke button, sir. Yes, I'm salty about yesterday.
oh my god. Let it go. Let it go. Fucking hell. Anyways, so we've got, they hit this purge button and releases all of the monsters. Every single monster comes out into the main elevator hallway in the most glorious bloodbath as they just annihilate the fucking SWAT team.
Yeah.
Coming in waves, murdering. And like you see, I still think
I've seen this
that's
gif
where I
so many times of them coming out of the elevator.
And every time you notice something different.
exactly.
Awesome.
That's what's so
we
great
went
about
frame
this
by
movie.
frame in this shit.
And I still, that's where I want to hear that rape tree going, gotcha, bitch! Because the rape tree comes out of the elevator, grabs a guy, and just pulls him back.
Prime time, bitch. did not hesitate.
Oh, no.
It grabbed the guard, flipped it, and was ready to go. Nothing to prepare, just ready to go.
No lube, just
into the elevator.
He was sapped up and ready to go.
Can we
Knock it the fuck off. I won't tell you again.
all the blood that comes from that elevator, from the rape tree elevator, that's a lot of blood.
Oh, yeah.
That's a lot.
It's like Moses split the Red Sea, and here it comes.
It's
Like,
because the tree split Moses.
That was a good one.
now I'm going to look through the credits and see if he's credited as Moses, the security guard.
Great. So they get through this. They're going through this whole thing, and their murder is happening everywhere across the entire complex. These murder monsters from Unicorn, Nosferatu,
The unicorn with the music after the unicorn kill fucking got me.
So good.
It fucking got me.
I mean, just monsters, constantly coming at you in
Fucking
waves,
brutal
murdering
deaths.
everywhere, and it's fucking great.
Brutal.
But finally, we get towards the end where the father from Step Brothers
yeah.
has unlocked a latch to go underground. Comes around a corner to meet Marty and Dana, who has found their way underground as well.
Yes. And she
stabs
immediately
him
stabs him.
because they think something is coming around the
Yeah,
corner.
which I would have
Right
too.
there.
Let's be honest.
Stabs him, and
Don't stab him, he ran into the night.
yeah, he ran into the knife.
Basically.
But
Yeah,
pretty much
basically.
all he said was just kill him.
Yeah.
Like just to that's what the thing is, to save everybody.
We're
Is to
going to
kill
walk
him.
right over the merman.
So he was so upset about not getting the merman. He's just like, they didn't grab the conch. It was right in his hands.
He almost.
I'm never gonna see a merman. And they're like, it's a brutal cleanup, dude. Like, no, it's such a bad cleanup. No, you don't want it anyway.
And this whole scene, man.
Oh
like,
my God.
The doors blow open. Monsters are coming in, tearing.
You hear the
apart.
squishing sound, and I'm like, oh my god, yes.
But he sets off the first day security guard sets off an explosion, which knocks him down. The smoke fills the room.
Scarecrow flows.
Yeah.
Then you hear the squish.
And it comes out of the mist, and you just hear him go, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
Chomp right into the face.
Merman.
And then you see the blood go out of the blowhole, and that's when my girlfriend decides to go, oh, that's why the cleanup's messy.
Yes. Oh my God. Dear Jesus.
That was legitimately a messy cleanup because that blood spew went on for 9 minutes.
Yes.
For a 10-second scene.
They took the last bit of it, and they had to take something from it because of how messy it was. They could not do another shoot.
The entire set was destroyed because of that one scene.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they get in, they get underground, and now you see the director.
Sigourney Weaver, fucking Ripley.
Fucking hell,
Yes, thank you.
yes.
I love you, brother.
Perfect character for this.
The big, giant, beautiful woman herself. Man.
Oh, and she just
Icon of horror.
love her.
and just announces just plays it all out. You know,
yeah.
These people, they have to die.
I like when they get to
them
the
dying-
fool, the stoner just goes, really? The fool? Can you say stoner?
and them dying is the qualifications to save the world.
Yeah.
To satisfy the guy.
And she tries to take him out.
Yeah, she puts the gun up to him, man.
Dana does.
Dana does,
does.
Dana. puts
She
the gun up to him.
convinces Dana to
Yeah.
put the gun up to her.
Yeah.
And whenever the werewolf comes up from behind and chomps down on Dana's neck.
That was brutal.
Oh man, it was so good.
I was just like, oh my god, the virgin's gonna die first and everything's gonna go to hell.
And Sigourney Weaver springs into action, jumps over, and goes to beating Marty's ass.
Just beat the dog shit out of him.
And the only thing that saved Marty was Patience Buckner.
Yep.
Yeah.
Comes back.
Comes
She
all the
wasn't
way
done yet.
back.
And then he just pushes them both off of the ledge.
Yep.
Like, both of them look at him, and then they fall.
And then the last scene is these two characters that we've come to know this entire movie sitting on a stair, smoking a
Apologizing to each
spliff, apologizing to
Sorry,
each
I
other.
almost shot you.
And then an ancient fisting.
No, hang on. Because the greatest line ever. Giant angry gods That would have looked so cool.
Wish we could have seen that.
And then immediately you just see this fucking ancient hand just fist fuck the crust of the earth and just
smash the camera.
Slam down.
It was beautiful.
And
Beautiful.
that is the greatest ending.
A lot of people I have found out have come up to me since I said that I was going to do this movie and have gone, please don't get mad at the ending. And I'm like,
why?
It's a great ending.
It was fantastic.
Yeah,
it
it wasn't the
in
mist.
So many different ways.
Exactly.
Yeah.
One of my favorite ways to look at it is the gods are us, the audience.
Oh.
We're the ones that go every year, just like in the movie, to see these horror movies, these cliches, the nudity that has to be fulfilled for us. At least one survivor. If we're not satisfied, we will destroy the directors, the cast, the production companies, their world.
See, the other way that
This is how it breaks down.
the other way
Rotten
I
Tomatoes.
took it was kind of the same way: is we are the gods, and this is the world that has been set for us, and we are so. But the change is that we are so tired of this constant sameness
Yeah.
that we have decided that we
We're
will
taking
not
the fuck
do it
over.
anymore. And we will destroy.
Yeah.
We will destroy this industry
Okay.
and build it anew.
Yeah,
as
that's
we
what
need
Marty
it.
was talking about earlier when he was basically breaking the fourth wall throughout this entire movie.
Yes.
Yeah, he was.
Saying that it's time for change. And I
Exactly.
feel like this movie does do it really well. Like, it's at that point
Yeah.
in movie history where, like, we're done with the cliches. Now here come all these other horror movies, like Get Out, A Quiet Place.
Oh yeah, and then
Conjuring.
we've
Yeah.
gotten amazing movies lately.
Yeah.
and
Yes.
it's great.
But that's just a theory. Oh, no, I'm not going to.
Don't do that. You're gonna get sued. You're gonna get sued so hard.
No.
But-
I love you, Matt.
What you need to know is this. You hear that?
Yeah.
Sounds a lot like some beavers.
Oh God, here we go. Oh God, Zombievers. So this is our second movie,
Zombievers.
and it starts off. Let me say,
Greatest
I feel like top
opening
billing
ever.
I feel like top billing in this movie was like 30 seconds of this goddamn film because it is my favorite. Top 5 favorite comedians. Bill Burr.
Yes.
Oh, man,
absolutely.
I love it.
And
Yeah.
you guys still have yet to tell me, but the guy in the mustache looks super fucking familiar to me, but I couldn't put my
You just
fucking
want to
finger on it.
turn that for him. Just
Recognize him?
Yo, fuck John Mayer.
It
Fuck
is
John Mayer.
I hate John Mayer so much.
Yep. That's who it was.
Twist, you know I hate John Mayer.
And you liked that scene, so go fuck yourself. It was John goddamn Mayer.
I do like the whole fact of he said things that I think you have said to me on road trips. It's just like, hey, dude, are you paying attention?
Yeah.
I don't think you are.
and they're driving down the road carrying some toxic waste in the back. And bullshitting back and forth,
Kegs
talking
of
about
toxic
whatever. And he's looking at Bill Burr is driving, looking at his phone, and John
Flip
phone. Yeah, let's not forget that shit.
Was what, 2014, 15? And
flip
Bill Burr
phone.
has a flip phone.
Fucking
Yeah, I was looking at this going, oh my God.
So,
Fuck.
So anyway, he's going down the road, looking at his flip phone. He's like, "Hey man, you watching the road? You You see that deer? No, I trust you.
I don't think you do.
He's like, I don't think you do. And then wham, and hits the flimsiest goddamn deer in the world.
Was it flimsy or was it the truck?
No,
Maybe this
no.
truck could have been made out of adamantium.
That truck, if that truck wasn't made out of adamantium, then this deer was made out of balloons.
Because there wasn't a single dent scratch on the truck.
I love that he's like, dude, check the rear. And he goes, the rear's fine.
He stays with the truck and looks. Your rear's fine. I'm going to check the front.
And
Let me get out. And he goes back in, just like, I don't think he's going to make it, man. It's real bad. Let's keep moving.
so this fucking truck, once it hit the deer, a barrel of toxic waste has dropped off the back into rapids.
Which, it does it like
White-
a comedy movie would.
White
To explain
water
things.
It reminded me of the
rapids.
scene from The Hobbit.
Yes.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, escaping Riverdale and the
And they're in the barrels.
Inspired.
It's a barrel.
It was basically that.
Which the whole opening is just the stupidest shit in the world.
Oh, it was great.
With the montage
Pure
of it
magic.
floating down the river, and I'm just sitting there thinking of it kind of reminded me of the beginning of Lord of War with Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
With the bullet going through all of its things. It's just like, oh, look at its little adventure.
So
the credits were great. It reminded me of like a Scooby-Doo scene.
thank you. It was bugging the shit out of me. Thank you.
Dude, yes. I was just sitting there going, this is so fucking stupid.
So this is both the strongest and the weakest keg I've ever seen in my life.
It survives all that shit.
It survives
to the end.
It survives Whitewater Rapids all the way down until it just lightly bumps a beaver dam,
and then it becomes a Keystone Light can.
Pierces and like these, I guess, trying to
In
shotgun it. Because this thing pierces and just sprays,
and you can hear it too. Can we just talk about the ADR of us hearing it and just?
See, now you want to talk about that. I want to talk about these gorgeous beavers. Beautiful
creatures.
Oh my god, just Canadian wonders.
They got Ryan Reynolds, Justin Bieber,
Justin Bieber,
Lady Nana.
Oh god damn it.
Oh man, but these beavers do remind me. The way they look reminds me of something that you'd find at like a souvenir shop here in the Midwest.
They kind of remind when they turn into zombies, they kind of remind me of the gopher from Caddyshack.
Yes. I can totally see that. Oh my god.
Especially the way they move their head.
So it looks like it almost.
For you audio listeners, which is all of you, just flipped his head back and forth, just like the
Willow Smith.
It almost looks like you took a beaver, killed it, got somebody to stuff it, then they took the stuffing out of it and put animatronics in there.
Yeah, they were pretty fucking like skeletal beavers. I'll say that.
Weird ass fucking beaver. So,
you want to talk about weird ass beavers? Let's wait until we talk about the were beavers.
if you want to talk about some weird ass beavers up between that girl's leg,
beaver
because there
on
are
beaver
so many beaver references.
Oh, the amount of fucking... First of all, sex jokes in general.
This movie made me tired of beaver references.
Which they even... I feel like they made a joke about it because they were like, okay, enough beaver jokes. And he's like, why did the beaver cross the road? That actually got me.
There was a couple jokes in here that got me. I'm not going to lie to you. There is just so much to cover here.
So it starts off with the girls...
it
starts off with them at a gas station. Yes.
The blonde girl, Jen, is crying in the bathroom, and
her phone says, "I'm sorry."
Yeah, it's obvious.
Frowny face.
Like the parenthesis and...
Yeah, this is 2014.
old school,
You're telling me you didn't use emojis.
And if anybody
she
says,
has a BlackBerry, by
I'm
the way.
sorry, with a frowny face, they're not sorry.
No.
And she had a BlackBerry.
Yeah. So it was obvious that she just gotten cheated on by the guy.
Yeah, you can kind of tell.
But she hears a pounding at the door.
Go take a shit.
Go take a shit. And then he opens the door, and this movie is full of nothing but the most disgusting men on earth.
It's just a movie of six.
Yeah. Even one of the girls says, just like, oh, my boyfriend's so nice and everything. And then when you first get introduced to him, you're just like, girl, you're dating one of the biggest douchebags I've ever seen.
Oh my god.
By the way, that dude looks like a beaver.
Oh god.
Jesus Christ.
Buck looks like a beaver with buck teeth.
I'm surprised
That's why they named it Buck.
Their introductions.
That's the only name that I remember.
Buck is the only one I remember.
Buck,
because they say his name
Buck.
constantly.
That's
And because buck teeth.
And Tommy. Wow. Tommy. I remember Tommy.
Was there a Tommy?
Tommy was...
Oh yeah, Tommy was the main...
boyfriend. That got squished by the tree.
We're going to get to it.
Yeah, we'll get to that shit.
So, here we go.
Dick pics. Can we talk about that shit?
There's so much to talk about, though.
I thought they were fingers.
Yeah, no. They were the most awkward dick pics I've ever...
If those were dick...
Wow.
Like, if that was an actual dick pic, that guy got up on his dick. That
He was
filled the whole camera.
out of that dick.
And you still saw all of it.
Yeah.
That poor little dick son of a bitch.
Not only that, but like only one of the pictures had a head on it. The rest of them looked like it was just smooth.
Oh yeah,
That's what I'm saying. That's why
It looked like somebody shot their knee.
Like somebody got super close to their thumb and just
it just blurred it a bit.
yeah, exactly.
It's uncircumcised, babe. What do you want?
Here's why I'm saying that all the men in this movie seem like scumbags. Because she opens the door to the bathroom to the trucker that's trying to take a shit, and he immediately like, "I'll do anything for you, baby." And I'm like, and then he like runs in to take a shit.
After checking her out.
Yeah, after checking her out. Then she walks out to get into her car and is checked out by some random guy that we never see or hear from again. He's just like an extra, or maybe somebody that was just caught in the back and just like, holy shit, look at that. Doesn't say anything, just hard looks. Then the hunter we meet later makes the worst sexual comments to these girls ever.
It was so goddamn creepy.
And then the boyfriends are all just sons of bitches. And then the fucking the only other guy that's left in this movie is the neighbor, the husband of the neighbor, and he instantly makes a sex joke.
Yeah, they're probably over there scissoring. What was it?
Scissoring the Lady Gaga.
Yes, scissoring the Lady Gaga is what he said. Where is it? Yep, kid. It's just them kids scissoring to Lady Gaga.
So, oh my god, every dude in this movie is just shitbags.
Yeah.
So they're going to this cabin.
Oh wait, what about the kid whose dick is his fishing rod? He holds it right.
Oh my
fucking
god,
there, dude.
This kid is just there to be bait. Just to be another kill in this movie.
They never reference him. They never talk about
He
him.
never turns.
Nope.
He just gets pulled into
He just
the
gets
water.
pulled into the water and killed. The girls arrive at this cabin with one of the worst 80-yard lines I've ever heard because they pull up to the cabin and she goes, "Are we stopping to get some gas?" What?
God.
Where do you see gas?
And immediately this lady comes up like, "Hi!" Like you, they just pulled the
Well,
fuck
no,
in.
it seemed like she knew
They were
So
coming.
she she knew the
She knew the girl.
one, the good girl.
But like they literally just pulled into the fucking driveway. It's like she was standing on the porch waiting for him to show the fuck up.
Oh, she saw the dust coming from the dirt trail and started speed walking over there. Like, I'm talking
I gotta get my casserole over there.
They're in the middle of the country. What else the fuck are they gonna do?
And immediately, Hobag in this movie starts making sex jokes. Immediately to
She
this
is
poor
the
woman.
worst human alive. Just
She
this
is
old
terrible.
little old nice lady, and she's just like, "Oh yeah, we were supposed to get laid and have all sorts of unprotected." I'm like, holy shit!
Good.
Give the old
Fucking
lady
Lord.
a minute. And then the old lady makes the biggest fucking switch.
Yeah, my daughter's a
My
bitch.
daughter is a whore and ugly too. I don't know how she gets all these men. I'm like, whoa.
So,
Whoa.
I don't even know what
Whoa.
sex they are.
It's the hardest switch.
Holy shit.
Oh my god.
I want to talk about something here. The lake scene. Okay, tits. I love tits. Tits are shown, but they're meant to be shown.
Another cliche.
Not like every fucking minute. They're just out there now. As soon as they get out of the water and she's just walking around, I'm like, all right, there's just tits there now.
I feel like this girl, she's like, all right, I'll do this movie, but I want my tits out.
She reminded me of like a discount Aubrey Plaza. I was like, she looked like her, she acted like her.
I really wish it really
they couldn't
was her.
pay Aubrey Plaza enough money to be top.
God,
Exactly.
I love Aubrey Plaza.
So I've got to talk about this part because they go and they see the beaver dam from the lake, and they're like wanting to see. God damn it! You made it for it. God damn you! So they make the they make the joke. I mean,
I have it right here.
They
Don't
see
worry.
the dam beforehand, and now mind you, they were like these are college girls on their
They're sorority
vacation.
sisters.
Sorority sisters. So they're in college. They know that beavers are usually nocturnal. They see the beaver dam covered with this thick green slime.
And immediately go, what is it? She says, is that the green beaver urine?
It's probably just beaver urine. They just probably piss all over their home.
That one's covered in piss too.
Shitting me? You're fucking kidding me. Why are you this dumb?
And
why are
literally,
you
it's
so
just like-
smart but so dumb?
It's toxic green paint, dude. It is. It's
like
glow in the dark
Oh, yeah.
paint.
Yeah, no, it looked like somebody just like
Yeah, I have it
shot.
written down
It
here,
looked like somebody
green beaver
shot
urine.
too thick of an air, like a paintball at it.
Or like the Nickelodeon like Yak.
Oh yes.
Stuff like somebody just like chucked it at it. And like, yeah, that's a good.
At this moment, my jaw dropped.
Okay.
And my girl looks at me and goes, "What's wrong?" I was like, "Did you not hear green beaver urine?"
You know what point my jaw dropped? When she covered her tits at the sight of a bear.
Yogi Bear. Yogi Bear's even like a dude now too, so he's got to be in this movie like, "Let me get in your picnic basket."
Hey, boobs.
Round of applause.
Thank you. I'll be here.
I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one.
So they see a bear. She covers her boobs because reasons. And the bear gets shot. And the hunter comes out of the woods.
Did he get shot or did he shoot in the air?
No, I'm pretty sure he shot the bear because the bear comes back later dead.
But did it get bit by a beaver?
It could easily have gotten bit by a beaver at any point.
Okay.
Was the bullet that killed the beast? Or was it
What's the
beaver? That killed.
What
Was it
came
the
first, the beaver or the bullet?
Either way, it starts with a B.
So this guy goes from
Smith
making
with a Y, by the way.
this guys. This is Rex Lynn.
This
This is fucking Rex Lynn.
Yeah.
He's a good actor.
Yeah. Not in this, he's not.
This man has been in so many movies. Rush Hour, Wyatt Earp, Cliffhanger, fucking so much good shit. He has got the largest fucking filmography I've ever seen. Why did he do this?
Holy Christ.
He was in Django Unchained.
He was in Django. God damn it. He was in Django. Who did he... Why? Was he that hard up for money?
You gotta pay a couple bills, man. I mean, it's better than stripping.
I think he should have stripped.
He was in Jag. Huh. Walker, Texas Ranger.
He was one of the main... he was like the main boss in Walker, Texas Ranger.
Yeah.
It was
Got
fucking
that
insane.
wrong.
Look at the size of this fucking filmography right now.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
This
insane.
is longer than every other person in this movie's like cast listing, like by far.
Yeah, no,
Oh, yeah.
I didn't
Like,
know anybody in this
combined.
goddamn movie except for the comedians that they showed and the shitty music artists.
So, fucking Rex Lynn plays the most just disgusting hunter on the face of this earth.
Wait, do I
making
have what he
jokes
said to him?
left and right about these girls. And...
Oh yeah, you need to cover up.
No, that's how he ends it. Like, he switches from being, like, the most horrible fucking person, making all sorts of sex jokes towards these girls,
Yeah, because the
and then...
girls, like, he asked, "What are you doing out here?" And they're just like, "We're looking for beaver." And he goes like, "Aren't we all?"
And then switches immediately at the end to, "You guys ought to cover up more, showing all that skin.
Your tummies and then weird tattoos.
There's decent folk around here." What the shit, man?
Kids.
Like, pick one. You pick either disgusting or moral.
You can't be both.
he literally got the script for two different characters and just played
Just
both.
rolled with it.
It doesn't make any sense, but
So
we
they-
get paid to do it.
No, Rex, that's Bill's line. No, Bill, stay behind the bush. We don't need you anymore.
So then they go back to the cabin and they're drinking all night and they're fucking around.
And then all of a sudden, dunk, dunk, dunk.
I'm sorry. No, we're gonna skip all the thunk and the walking around and all the bullshit straight to there's a fart jump scene.
Yep.
Who is the main girl's boyfriend?
This is the
Who
main.
is said to be the nicest.
This
guy.
is the nice guy who does a fart jump scare. What?
By the way, I only counted 4 jump scares in this movie.
There weren't any. They all suck.
No real ones, but
it
4
was a
kind of
good
jump
try.
scares.
So,
The best.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
So then they finally allow them to come inside.
Oh, by the way, I wrote down some of the jokes that they had said in this one. What was it? Oh, no, I wrote down one. I haven't had sex in 36 hours. My dick's fallen asleep. And then continues yelling, "Wake my dick up."
Grade A humor here, folks.
All the boyfriends show up at this point at a retreat that was supposed to be a girls-only trip.
Buck is the biggest douchebag, and his girlfriend just fits right the fuck in with him.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. There's no reason for any of them to be friends with Buck. He's
with each other.
He's really with each other entirely.
All of their personalities conflict because the girl who was crying in the bathroom at the beginning of the movie was like the nicest girl of them.
She does. Like, I thought she was gonna be a bitch, and she turns out to be incredibly nice the entire
And like her
movie.
best friend is the one that fucking fucks that girl's boyfriend.
They didn't fuck. They just kissed.
That we know of.
That we know of, yeah.
But so then we go to the most awkward sex scene in the history of filmography, next to The Room.
I feel like a Power Ranger.
So
which is,
that one out
first of all, it is obviously fake by how loud that is. I've had girls say that shit to me, so
he is
I know that's
having
fake.
sex with her from behind, just going to town, screaming, "I feel like a Power Ranger!
You are way too hot for me!" And she goes, "Damn right, baby."
And this is how these two movies are connected. The Power Ranger connection.
That's the thin line. This thin yellow line.
Oh my god.
Boy.
So, but the other sex scene was just as awkward. There was no way he was getting he was doing this and just like, he was using his arms to push the bed down to make it look like they were fucking.
Yep.
Yeah.
She was just bouncing uncontrollably underneath
Like
it.
in the waterbed. Just like, wee!
Put your arms up, babe. They're gonna take a picture. I do like his little thing later on.
Beaver
the
Falls.
safety orgy.
Safety orgy. Jesus Christ.
Look, guys, I don't think we're gonna make it through the night, so we should all just come together and have sex. You know, have an orgy, a safety orgy.
So at this point, so the other two couples are having sex.
Mm-hmm.
The girl, Jen, the nice one, and her boyfriend. What was the fuck is his name even? Sam.
The guy that was cheating on.
This is the cheater.
Which that guy kind of looked familiar.
I'm sure he's been in something.
Yeah,
awful.
I don't know. We'll find out.
But so they were sitting next to each other, and she slaps him because he tries to get in good, and then moves on, slaps again, slaps him so goddamn hard, like incredibly hard, and then goes on and he like pins her to the wall. They start making out for a second to get kneed in the balls.
Yes. I know him from
Great
Sik and
scene.
Luther, which was a Disney Channel show about skaters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't recognize him at all.
Yeah.
So he gets kneed in the balls and moves on. They move on, and she goes to take a shower. And this is the first sighting of the zombievers.
Yeah, can we talk about how the fuck that beaver get in there?
There's no explanation.
No, it's just chilling in the fucking shower.
As nice as a girl she was incredibly rude to interrupt this beaver's shower.
He was chilling. She opens it up and he's like, "Hey, close."
It was like that scene.
You think he came out of the shower head?
What was that movie back? I'm going to get butchered for this one. You know, with the whole slasher, she's in the shower.
Psycho, yeah.
Why was I spacing on that? I even talked about it earlier.
Funny thing, that's actually Jamie Lee Curtis's mom. You're welcome.
Thank you.
In Psycho.
Okay.
Huh.
Just thought I love that
Beaver
movie.
turns and like screams like, ah! And the girl falls back and...
So, yeah, the girl falls back, the beaver trying to get her.
Yeah.
She runs out. She is run out in her underwear, crying her eyes out. Yeah. They are the biggest bunch of assholes to this girl in her moment of fucking need. Yeah. She's crying her, obviously distressed, crying her eyes out, and they're just like, okay, just calm the fuck down. There's no fucking anything to be wrong.
And then he's like,
"Who's the cheater?" They're just like, "What did you do to her?" Yeah, she's the one that need me in the balls.
So they go in like an orderly fashion to this bathroom, and he goes, "Oh, what if it's really in there?" And then Buck from the back leans over and goes, "Don't be a bitch."
So the way they go into this holding his back, like from near the top, like, what are you gonna do? Like
poke at it with like the short end? Like what?
Guys, I got a question for everybody. How'd that beaver get in the cabinet and close it back?
Smart beaver, man.
Dude, these beavers
Never
actually have
underestimate
some
the beaver.
methodology to them. They've closed off the road. They've cut the telephone wires.
Apparently, when you die as a beaver and get covered in radioactive goop,
Your
your
serial
IQ
killer.
shoots so fucking high, and you can now jump. And levitate. Because there are some scenes where these beavers are trying to get through the windows, and they're just floating like 7 feet off the fucking ground.
Yes. Oh god, these beavers.
Oh my god, it's great.
Oh,
It's
God
great.
damn it.
By the way, this is also the part where he's like, dude, my foot's asleep. And I'm like, dude, but every part of your fucking body's asleep. Because you talked about how your dick's asleep, now your foot's asleep.
You know what's great
This guy needs
is
to get some cardio, get blood flowing, fix this problem.
I'm a smoker and I
probably
have
what
better
killed him.
circulation.
so they kill the beaver, they bag it, throw it outside, and then
He pulled a sick and
Leave it on
beat
the
that beaver to death.
we're not doing beaver jokes. There's too many in this movie as it is.
Dan, calm down a little bit.
There's just,
Beaver dam.
yeah. God damn it. I've hoisted my own petard.
I tried. You know,
That was good.
you know
I'll give
what?
it to you.
Thank
That's
you.
good. Okay.
Thank you.
So they decide to go swimming. They all get into the lake and they're swimming around, and then
Beavers.
This is where we find out that like this girl's best friend is the girl.
no, this is where we find out that beavers can apparently bite clean through a foot in one chomp.
Yeah, because she's like, oh my god, something swam against my butt. And then immediately Buck just goes,
No, he gets drug under the water because reasons.
By the way, this is the smallest fucking lake I've ever seen in my goddamn
This is
life.
a pond.
Barely.
It's like when it
It's a
rains
puddle.
really heavily and like the ditch next to your house gets filled up. That's this lake.
And they put like a wooden raft in the middle.
So they
For reasons.
For reasons.
So they fucking he gets his leg chomped all the way off,
all the way
smooth off,
Oh yeah.
Other guy goes down now.
and somehow gets his leg. Somehow finds his foot.
In this murky water.
Yeah, he just pops up with it like he pops up and he's like, oh,
Hey.
oh. And they're like, are you okay? And he's just like,
pulls his leg out and just and
So-
there's blood instantly.
So they pull him up onto the fucking dock, and they're trying to figure out what to do. So Dickbag
I hate this guy
X
so much.
grabs the
God.
dog.
This tiny little
Fuck.
like terrier.
oh, dude, this
Chucks
is
the
epitome of
dog.
don't kill the fucking dog, you douchebag director.
Chucks
They're
the
just
dog
like,
off.
oh, we need a distraction to swim back to land. I got a plan. Chucks the dog into the water.
And
As
this
the
girl
dog
is just like,
swimming.
oh my god, fucking what the hell?
I will never understand. I will never understand.
No.
What the fuck?
No.
So he chucks the dog. The beavers go after the dog, which the beavers change size here.
Yeah.
Because they were like the size of like
A
fucking
beaver.
like my arm, and then they go for this dog, and all of a sudden they're the size of this tiny little terrier.
Exactly. It takes 3 of them to take this tiny little terrier down there.
Which, by the way, this took 3 takes. Because the dog ended up loving the robot and starts playing with them, and they're like, he's supposed to be scared of them.
There's bloopers.
There's this movie ends in bloopers. Only one other movie
That I know of.
only one other true horror movie, ends with bloopers.
My Bloody Valentine.
My Bloody Valentine.
The 3D version.
Yeah.
The late one.
Specifically,
Later.
the 3D.
The remake.
We'll get back to that one in February.
Jensen Ackles.
Jensen Ackles. Oh my god.
Anyways, so they get back to the cabin to find that the girl is They made a beaver attacking her beaver joke.
Yeah.
Beaver on beaver action.
I rolled my eyes so hard,
yeah.
I think I herniated a cornea.
Yeah, she just kind of stood there for a minute.
She just let it
sat
happen.
there, like,
Legs
legs
spread
wide,
on the counter.
Knife in her hand.
The
just like,
beaver
You're gonna do
jumped to the counter.
Oh, yeah.
Can beavers jump?
I don't think so.
Not only that, remember,
I
this is
don't
also the
think
beaver
beavers
that
can jump.
has spinal damage because it's ripped in half.
Yeah, because of the baseball bat.
Yeah.
This is the one that they beat to death with a baseball bat.
And somehow it stayed together, jumping up onto this counter.
Impressive. Like, the top end came, the bottom half came. Like, it was all there on the counter.
Fucking Slinky from Toy Story became a beaver.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, that's so good. I want that toy. So she just sits there with her legs spread as this beaver slowly crouches up on her fucking crotch and then finally stabs it, like, after 3 to 5 fucking minutes. It was just, it was painful.
I think this is where everybody comes in and they're actually staring at it, right?
And they try calling.
Like, is this
After they
is
get
it on
dressed.
steroids?
After they get dressed.
Oh, yep.
That's
After
right.
they get
Everybody got
dressed.
So during this whole catastrophe,
Yeah.
they run in, see the beaver, decide to get dressed.
So they.
I like this joke, though. Because she's like, what is it, on fucking steroids? And apparently you have to be a baseball player in order to be on steroids, because she immediately goes, does it look like a baseball player?
Yeah. I don't know, guys.
There are
just a bad
questions
movie.
in this movie that can't be answered.
So, the guy is literally cuddling with his foot.
Yeah.
In a Ziploc baggie.
A quarter of the way filled with ice.
For no reason. So
Not even on the right side. On the bottom of the foot is where the ice is.
So hang on, we've got to talk about this scene because they go to they're talking at the neighbor's house, and this is where they have the dad that makes the comment about the scissoring Lady Gaga over there. He's petting the golden lab, and they pan up back to the dad, and they pan back down, and now he's just petting one of the beavers with blood in its mouth, and this is officially a Jason teleport. This is a teleporting stealth beaver. Because the dog just disappeared. Apparently, it's dead. And it never makes another fucking appearance, so we can only assume. The fucking beaver just teleports in, grabs the dog ninja style, apparently, zips back out, snaps its neck, zips back in, and now it's getting pets. I want all the snuggles. So the beavers are smart enough to have blocked the road.
Yeah, because they're taking the dude to go to the hospital.
Yeah, they get in the car, in the smart car, which they have to make jokes about because of reasons.
This is a hybrid. You have to ease into it.
There's no reason for that line.
No.
So they get into the car, they driving him out, the road is blocked because the beaver's downed a tree, and then they find the hunter's truck, they grab an axe, and they're going to grab a gun.
This is when Buck leans up against the seat. It's just like, I'm sorry for never eating your pussy. It just smells so bad.
I got nothing. The goddamn script. Somebody wrote a script for this.
Yeah.
So Tommy goes to go run off to find help because the road is blocked. They tell him to get back in the car and drive off. And they drop a tree on him because apparently beavers now know geometry.
Yeah, and timing.
Timing
like a
geometry, fucking... I mean, I guess they were already lumberjacks, but fuck.
They
Yeah.
chop the tree down, the perfect spot, perfect size, wait to pin this guy, and just instantly kills him.
And now Rex shows up.
And Rex shows up, never misses a shot. This man is fucking military marksman.
Well, it's Rex Hill.
He was fucking American
This is where
snipers,
Rex
this
Hill
bitch.
becomes Rex Hill.
This is fucking insane.
Oh, yeah.
Goes through, and they get back in the truck. They're driving back to the cabin, and now they're back at the cabin where they are locking down the place.
Yeah, oh, God. Let's talk about how many times he's going to
How many
that
times?
hammer?
No, how many wrong ways did you see a hammer, a knife, and a baseball bat get used in this scene?
So many. It was ridiculous.
Like,
it was the worst.
It looked like if fucking Michael Myers went gay. Yes. Just limp wristing these stabs.
Yas, bitch, slay.
Again, no fucking disrespect to the gay community. I'm sorry.
No. Thank you, sir. Bitch. No.
So, anyways, but like they use this hammer to fucking try to tap these nails in so awfully, like just like weird.
And you can
taps.
see the dent. You can see the dent in the wood too. That they've taken like 10 takes
Because
he's just like tapping against it so lightly, but there's still like 50 rings from like goddamn hammer.
Because I bet he probably took one good swing, and they were like, "Whoa, this is our only board."
We spent all the money on the beavers.
Jesus. But all of our good budgeting went to the beavers.
And then they go back.
And the puppets, too.
Yeah, oh, by the way, her thing goes, really? Really? Fuck you. But so she makes the comment of, what the fuck? Don't you know that the whole point of a beaver is to go through wood?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I loved his response.
Next time you see, or let me know when you want me to put sheet metal on.
I loved that response. I did love that response. So,
and then they,
this is where they get into the neighbor's house because they're boarded up the place.
Find them
They
dead.
find them dead.
Phone wires cut.
And
dude's persistent on chicken.
dude, no. Where did he just like raids their kitchen, just got some fucking chicken.
Yeah, he talks about it. He's like, hey, there's some chicken in the fucking...
You want some
Chomping down on
sure
the
you don't want
leg.
some
He's
chicken?
like,
Oh, by the way, I love that Rex Haven mistakes a leg for a sandwich.
Oh my god.
Because he walks up and he goes, what you doing, making a sandwich?
what's in that bag?
What's that in that bag? A sandwich? It's a foot. Wait, what the fuck? It's a fucking foot. What? Shut up.
You shouldn't put that on ice. It damages it. But if
He
you
knew
wanted to get
so
to the
much.
thing, we should have left like a half an hour ago.
He knew a lot for what he was good for.
But then again, he's
And
never
then-
done this. He's only seen it on TV.
So then she's like, okay, I guess I'm gonna go lay down.
He's like, you sure you don't want some
She
chicken?
went to the room.
She knew that they had to do something about her boyfriend's leg. And this is where Rex proceeds to grab his Bowie knife, put it into the fire, and then basically...
Yeah, that's right.
going-
Yeah,
But
she's
then,
like...
but this is where we cut back to the other cabin.
Yeah, the lesbian
The
scene.
lesbian scene.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because apparently being infected just gets you so horny
Horny?
up.
Oh, God,
Oh
yeah.
man, just makes you want to fuck so right.
She is so quiet, opens that door, and she's like, Jen? Is that you?
Yeah.
Oh.
And Jen walks in.
You weren't mad that I went with him. You're mad that he went with me.
And the way she lays on
Like-
this bed, she is as stiff as a board. She's doing the planking challenge.
I feel like the
Wrong
actor,
way.
the actress was super uncomfortable with the scene.
Incredibly.
I would be too if I watched somebody's teeth turn into fucking buckwood.
Yep, because
This is like
apparently
the saving grace of this movie, because that was actually a really cool
This is a-
transformation scene.
it will. Okay,
I immediately put this in as werebeaver.
Where?
Werebeaver.
That's and this is where zombievers come in because once you're bitten
my
by a
lord.
zombiever,
You
you
immediately-
become a zombiever.
Not a zombie.
Not a zombie.
A
You
zombiever.
literally sprout a fucking tail, some buck teeth, and grow the fucking beaver claws, and you turn into a goddamn zombie beaver. Mm-hmm. What in the actual fuck? Because then, like, after she escapes from the zombiever's grasps, from Jen's zombiever grasps, closes the door, she starts twerking on the floor to use her beaver tail. That is the only way. She just dropping it like it's hot, smacking her ass on the ground to make that tail clap.
And then beavers start coming.
There was no reason at all.
None.
It was
like the actor went, "Can I twerk in this?"
If she shows her tits, I have to twerk.
I feel like it was legitimately like that was supposed to be an outtake where she was just like she had the fucking prosthetics on and started doing it, and then they were like, John, turn the camera on. Shut the fuck up and turn the goddamn camera on. Shut up. Get it. And she's just doing it, doesn't realize it's happening, watches the movie later on and just goes, you guys are fucking assholes.
I think they're safe. I don't think she watched this movie.
She doesn't even want to watch
I don't
this
even
piece
think
of
the
shit.
creator watched this goddamn movie, dude.
So they jump back
come
to the
out.
neighbors.
And there's beavers coming through the boards. This is where I wrote down Whack-A-Beaver.
Yeah, it was the Whack-A-Beaver scene.
Which, by the way, Rex is using that knife in this. Did you notice that? He's using the knife, the side of the knife, to beat the ground.
Who?
Rex. Whack-A-Beaver.
Rex wasn't in this scene.
Oh, no. It's the baseball bat.
Yeah.
Yep. Never mind.
I was like,
Carry
what the
on.
fuck are you talking about?
Carry on.
Because Rex, at this point, is being lifted upside down by one-leg boyfriend.
Oh, yeah.
Because apparently you get fucking super strength when you're a zombiever.
And he's like...
Because he is holding him upside
Point
down.
ballet.
Upside down, he is holding this behemoth of a man upside down by the shoulders.
So what benefits do you get again? You get super strength. Your intelligence goes up by
And,
no pain.
so much.
You get
Kamikaze
telepathic twerking.
You get you get the feeling of kamikaze, the fire beaver.
Oh my god.
Which I feel
Fire
was
beaver.
a fire crotch reference.
They had to have been, but
Maybe.
because nothing in this movie was without a beaver joke.
And with this fire beaver, like the girl is so obsessed with this guy taking off his shirt to
Yeah.
check for bite marks.
Not only that,
They
but
were
the
looking-
beaver doesn't step. Did you notice that it doesn't step backwards
Yeah,
and
it
then
just
step forward? It
shifted.
just you can see that it had wheels on it.
It was obvious. So she's like they go into the bathroom. This is the last two the last two in this cabin. This is Sam and Mary, the good one and the douchebag. They go into the bathroom and she's like, "You got to take your shirt off. Let me see. I want to see if you got bitten or anything like that." He strips down butt naked, makes her do the same, except for she just stops at bra and panties because
Because one of them is covering a bite because he immediately goes, "What's this?" He starts making out with him.
Yeah. So she starts like super making out with him, and they go immediately into fucking.
Oh yeah.
No lube.
No.
No foreplay.
No foreplay.
Nothing.
I'm sorry.
He's fucking her on the
There
grill.
is no way on earth I have an erection.
You're being attacked by zombie beavers. Your ex-girlfriend just turned into a zombie beaver.
The ex-girlfriend that you were trying to actively get back with
Yep.
Yeah.
just turned into a beaver. Your friends are fucking dead. The phone line's cut.
Hey, he needed a safety orgy right there.
There is no goddamn way on earth he was hard.
For both of them. They're like, yeah, this is a great time to go at it.
I guarantee you her pussy was the Sahara, dude.
She initiated the move.
She did, but that was to cover up the fact that she had a bite.
So really, she was the driest beaver in this movie.
Oh, my God. Don't.
I broke my own rule. I'm sorry, guys. So they're having this random sex session, and they stop because they smell fire. Because, all the other fucking danger doesn't make them fucking stop having sex.
Dunking on the wood,
Beavers trying to get up at them and all this shit,
Mm-hmm.
and fucking zombie beavers and all this shit. But the smell of fire, that's what kills them.
And then Blondie.
And then...
Oh, my God.
The ex-girlfriend is tunneled under the ground,
Pops up.
hops up through the bathroom floorboards, and chomps this man's cock.
That's one way to put it.
Hey.
She was gnawing on that wood.
She was not on the wood.
I was thinking she was gobbling cock.
This was the true version of a BJ. This was a beaver job.
Wow.
Wait. Was this the Z job they were talking about in Beer Fest?
Shut up.
It's
Anyways,
a zombie job.
so he gets his dick bitten off and drugged down by his dick.
Yeah, no, he must have had a big dick because there was a lot of fucking material used in that part. Like a lot.
Yeah.
There's some material, dude. He was packing heat.
Yeah, he had a mean little dick, but some big old balls.
You deserve to die. After what he did to the dog.
Oh, yeah, no, he was going to die.
Without a doubt.
So they get out of the fucking cabin. She gets into the truck
That gets blown through the
because
wall.
Gremlin style.
comes through the goddamn wall. The bitchy friend, the inappropriate friend.
This
has gotten
breaks the
in.
code, by the way. The whore dies last.
I'm not sure you would consider her the whore.
They're all kind of.
They're all whores.
But she was the only one that was constantly trying to get dick.
Actually, if you think about if you think about it,
From
no.
beginning to end.
Hang on. She was the faithful one.
She was, but she was still like fiending for some dick the entire time.
But the girl that died was actually the one that had already been with 2 guys.
Yeah, okay.
So she's the real whore.
Okay.
So,
Okay,
man. Okay.
okay, man.
So, anyway, breaks through. They both hop in the truck. Apparently, you can also still use guns when you're a beaver. Because the hunter just pulls that goddamn rifle up and bam, shoots. And then she just gives up driving and drives right into a tree. And this is where we see the zombie beaver bear.
Zombie beaver bear. There's so many different things in this that are just right, like the zomblondver, the zombearver.
So they get out, they get back in the truck, driving down the road, thinking they're safe, and then they get out to walk around the tree that was down in the road, and they have.
Oh, Tommy is now underneath.
Yeah.
Zombie.
Well, he got bitten in the lake.
Yeah, but I just love that they had to show that scene where he's underneath the trees.
Yeah, he was contracted. He needed one more scene. They have a random standoff because she's like, "You got bitten. No, I don't trust you. You got bitten. Look at you." Because she's covered in blood because she jumped out a fucking window.
2 stories.
And then
Like a
she
boss.
Like a
changes.
boss.
She dove through this. She dolphin dived through this window. No regards to what's at the bottom. Could have been more beavers. She was just like, I am getting out of this room.
She literally just like, bye. So the girl that was the cheating girl pulls a gun up, thinks that she's been bitten, and then she immediately changes. Commences into the longest chopping sequence.
Oh my god! Yeah, she just whooped the dog shit out of her brain.
Fuck, this was a long chopping sequence.
Holy shit!
And then we get the end sequence of. You see that girl?
Bill Burr is back.
Bill Burr is back, baby. You see that girl?
I trust you.
You know what? I trust you, man. Title scene.
And then immediately bloopers.
Roll the greatest goddamn credits in history.
Wait, no, really?
They got their own lounge song.
But carnivore.
Jazz lounge song.
Schwass's sister.
We'll get to that later.
The song was like Frank Sinatra was revived from the dead, turned into a zombiever. Song. It was.
He actually mentioned munching off your balls.
Your girlfriend will
bite off your balls.
Oh my god, it was so fucking good.
That's that movie. Oh god, no, I saw it. I watched it. The end.
This movie had the balls. To do this had the zomballs.
Oh, another connection between these
end
movies.
credit scene.
It has a Marvel end credit scene, and Thor is in the first movie.
There you go. Fucking end credit scene of a bee that was feasting on a bear's body because bees do that, and then flies up to its the bee nest, the beehive. And you see like one big ass bee flying in with a red ass.
CGI.
Obvious CGI.
God, yeah.
And that's how they end it. Like it's gonna be like zombies next.
Zombies.
So there it is. That is.
Yeah, that's Zombies.
Oh,
God, those are our
around.
movies this time. I know it ran a little long, but we figured we had a guest in here. We'd go a little bit extra this time.
Yeah, we're really getting under our fucking wings. Got our special fucking intro now, and we got our first special guest. So, but yeah, we're gonna do as always. We finish our show off with some accidental horror. These are non-horror movies with a what the shit sequence in it.
And Danny brought this one to us.
I saw The Goonies.
Yeah.
Great movie. Josh Brolin has Thanos in it. You know, everybody knows.
Hey, another connection.
Chuck, right? That was his name? It's been a minute since I saw him.
Something.
The big kid. The big kid goes into...
Chunk,
not Chuck, yeah.
Chunky. Goes into
Chunky.
the freezer for some ice cream when they're in this another cabin in the woods. Opens up the freezer, is really dying for some ice cream. The kids are telling him not to go in there. And the music picks up. It gets like really like stereotype horror movie. Like, then we see it. The dead body. The dead body stashed in the freezer right next to the ice cream. Chunk freaks out.
The fuck out.
Oh, yeah.
Well, no, he doesn't even notice it at first. Everybody else.
He's
sees
naming
it.
off
He's
all
just
the ice
rattling off
creams.
the
Vanilla, Rocky Road, chocolate, bodies. And the body falls right on top of Chunk. And this scene was terrifying as a kid.
Oh my god.
There's
There's a bullet hole in his head.
Oh, yeah.
He's frozen. He just kind of like turns, and it's almost a jump scare.
Yeah,
Right?
because you wouldn't really expect it.
And then boom, he's like,
It's a stick!
nowadays it's super fucking funny.
Yeah.
But back
then,
that was fucking scary. Because the
Totally
music
unexpected.
swells right then into this fucking horror soundtrack. And you just get that fucking feeling, man.
Oh, fuck.
And I'll throw in a fucking bonus one. The first reveal of Sloth.
Yeah.
Oh god, that was terrifying.
Yeah, that was a pretty rough one.
That was fucking
You
rough.
see this dude as a linebacker just. And I'm like, fuck, they brought Frankenstein into this shit.
So yeah, there we go, guys.
Yeah, there it is, man. Thank you, Danny, for joining us this time, man. We really, really, really appreciate it.
Oh yeah, man.
Again, big shout out to Cell Echoes and Dreadwolf for our new intro and outros.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Link in the description for the song and
Yes.
for these two
Song
guys doing our
resounds.
intro and outros. Thank you guys so much. And have a
Actually, and follow us on Facebook,
Facebook, yes.
Sick and Twisted Horrorcast. And if you have any suggestions, you can either put it down in the comments down below, or message us via email at sickandtwistedhorrorcast@gmail.com.
Yep. Always.
So
Thank you
yeah,
guys.
no, and as always, he's sick,
He's twisted.
and this has been the Sick and Twisted Horrorcast.
Have a killer week.